Hey guys, I've done a lot of soul searching in the last 40 seconds in the last break, and I feel really bad. It's really tearing me up. Like, it wasn't on. It wasn't nice of me. It wasn't considerate of the online community and the greater community. You know, even the gaming community. You know, the broader community for saying that by watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, you'd be doomed to $30,000 a year. What I really meant to say is you'd be doomed to $20,000 a year, because that show sucks ass. Double down.
Welcome back to the second last episode of the Friendlyjordies podcast with its triumphant return. Oh, Miss Love.
You like that?
Yeah, dude. I'm always going to pay someone that sticks to their guns.
Damn,
and I don't
right.
care who the target is. Kids, anything, just as long as you're out. And you, my friend, have stuck to your guns.
Yeah,
it really seems like we have sacrificed a sacred cow here that I did not know existed, and that is a cartoon character that I'm pretty sure is based off of you. And I think that's the reason you don't like Avatar: Last Airbender, because you are him, and it's just that Jim Carrey movie. Yeah,
Which one?
the one where he's in that big dome.
Truman Show?
Yeah, that's the one. Just the Truman Show of your life.
I'm not going to lie, I've actually never seen it. It just looks kind of lame.
The Truman Show.
And
No, I've
also, if anyone's Japanese, we were discussing this today, Miss Love and I. Is it... You know how you see in virtually every anime, there is always some girl sleeping on one of those roll-out futon mattresses, maybe with a bubble of snot there or like a little piece of drool or something going, and then her mum comes in and goes, "Shinji, wake up!" And she's like, why are you so tired, Shinji? And then, it's almost as if you didn't sleep. And then always last night, she's just like on some giant cat going through Tokyo being like, yeah.
Why is that every movie?
Yeah. And then I'm just, dude, is that how Japanese people actually live?
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
They all live in
poll
the
going.
Miyazaki movie.
I'm
That's just a doco.
starting to... Yeah.
And they're all cartoons too, by the way. They're not real people.
I'm starting to think, I'm legitimately wondering, we both came to the conclusion of I think that's what Japanese children do at night in real life.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can we start off with our segment?
Yes.
First off, I want to hear... Actually, I don't really want
Wanna
to,
do
but
that?
the audience wants to know, what is your guys' opinion on... this new wave of police brutality in Victoria, with that pregnant woman being arrested, and what's his name, the Yemeni guy,
Avi
Yemeni being arrested.
Guys, can you stop putting me in positions that I know are going to get clipped on Twitter later on?
True.
You know, I can't sit here and honestly denounce really authoritarian behavior. I'm all about that shit.
But there's a legitimate reason. I'm not gonna argue that what is being done is perfect and everything. But I just want to say there is a legitimate argument to say, when a state is fucking coming out of 700 coronaviruses every fucking day, there is an argument to discourage public gatherings.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, look,
And there's also an argument for beating people. It really is. Look, some of the people that got beaten probably don't deserve it, but 80% did.
But dude, can we agree
They
that
must have
Avi
done
Yemeni
something.
does deserve it? Is that
No, he's part of the
controversial?
20% that didn't.
I guess I disagree with some. I'm torn between the sort of the left wing, I don't, paying somewhat levels of tax are definitely beneficial for society this way, and then being pulled this way, being don't tread on me. So I don't know.
Dude, at the end, this is just a smokescreen, right? The big issue is, do you agree with Dan Andrews extending the lockdown? I think that's the bottom line.
I agree
because there's big businesses that are openly now saying that what Dan Andrews is doing is horrible and this is a road to nowhere. So it's basically
No, it's mad. He's just Jack Lang reincarnate. He's a boss.
I think
he's
he's
an
got-
old school Labor boss with all these big businesses pressuring him. Not on my watch, fellas.
Yeah.
You gotta love it.
But do you think like the people are supportive? Because I know a lot of people in Melbourne that aren't.
Yeah, but that's because most of the people that you know in Melbourne are stupid druggo hipsters that are just annoyed that the only thing that gives them any meaning in life, which is just hanging around with other people doing drugs, is a little bit harder now.
Yeah.
Holy shit! That's
Well, I'm hopeful
agrees.
that's I'm hopeful that that's the only subsection that's against it.
I mean,
But
yeah.
having said that, I do still agree with the strategy though. I'm not saying that because his argument is that like if you want a sustainable opening
agree.
up, then you kind of have to like sustain it a little bit longer.
There's that argument, but there's also this one. I think we can all agree, doesn't matter where it is in the world or what the circumstances are, seeing heaps of cops in riot gear is boss. It looks mad.
Stop loving aesthetics so much.
And also taking down someone's like, bruh, come on, I've got my permit in my pocket, bruh.
Yeah,
that
I
is
know.
also mad.
I know, and dude, because he's always harassing cops or making cops' lives hard, and they've never had the scope to smack him with a baton.
Yeah.
They've been waiting for
And
this
now-
for a long. Just give them the opportunity to smack Harvey.
What's up with like someone whoever's the patron who's asked us to talk about this also said something which I don't know the meaning. He was saying just be a bit light on him. We don't want him to have another heart attack.
Yeah.
Did he have a heart
He
attack?
had a heart attack.
From like
yeah.
what, too much hummus? Well, how did that happen?
Well, look, he said it
If
was.
by hummus you mean roids, then
Yeah, he said it was stress, but my intel, and by intel I mean this guy over here. Apparently, it's roids. I don't know.
I mean, look, I don't know that for a fact, but if a 22-year-old or however old he is having a heart attack,
Yeah.
I know that for a fact.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty fair. Hey, it's like fair estimation.
It's that or Red Bull. Don't like
Yeah,
22-year-olds
red
are like getting a lot of heart attacks because of Red Bull?
Nah, they are.
Yeah, apparently it's a thing.
Fuck.
Not like heart attacks, but like having
Palpitations.
health.
But look, I'm saying this as a public service announcement. Harvey, please lay off the roids if you are having them. I want you to be around a lot longer because I do enjoy laughing at you. You are pretty much Yilmaz growing up and being a journalist.
He's got some good points. He's not that.
Well, what were the good points?
Like,
Dude, his points that fucking Mislav agrees with is,
Muslim sucks.
oh yeah, he's down.
Yeah,
But
in
also
general, immigrants suck.
specifically Waleed Ali sucks.
and you're not down with that?
And you are specifically.
Yeah, but like I think everyone in Australia knows that.
Yeah, it's not.
You know, you can get that from a lot of people online that are like Waleed Ali sucks. The only person that defends him is Ali.
Well, and you know,
I think Waleed Ali defends Waleed.
I would like to actually do this public apology before he was about to like release the Waleed Ali. I came, you guys were writing the script, and I was like trying to argue with you. Dude, I don't know if people are into you bagging Waleed Ali anymore. And recently, I looked at his videos. That has a lot of views compared to the other one. So people are still really anti-Waleed Ali. So I apologize. I was recommending Jordan not to release it.
No.
Oh, dude, like that's small fish for him these days. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I know, I know. It wasn't
destroying
like-
a public figure, eh? It's just like just a Monday morning, you know,
So bad.
risking my life. That's a Tuesday.
Such a Nazbol.
No need to make up words.
But it's okay.
It is a made up word. I think it's just that whatever the fuck that dragon is from Lord of the Rings that just constantly needs to feed on souls.
Oh, God.
That is me. It's just like, okay, all right, who's another public figure? Oh, okay, this chick that's on that 24/7 Danos Direct channel. She's big, does she?
Did big for the boots. Was on TV 15 years ago and still is alive. Time to get taken down a peg.
You were pretty hot, but not hot enough.
We would have been cancelled infinite times if we were on any mainstream medium, hey?
Yeah, unless I was also saying the Liberal Party's mad. Then I could say whatever the fuck I
True.
want after that.
But I have
all
to
you
say-
have to say it, right? Like you say that. Maybe that's a better strategy. Maybe you should just say, yeah, the Liberal Party is good, and then you're able to say whatever the fuck you want.
Well, no, the
We're doing
internet
it
has
wrong.
inverted it. But if you were on television, if say you were a Stanzamanik or something like that, yeah, That's the way that you can get away with saying anything. Because if you listen to those shock jocks, they actually say a lot of the things that people on the net get cancelled for that they say ironically. But it's just 24/7 on 2GB. And they're not being ironic about it. They genuinely believe that stuff.
Damn.
And yeah, they're still there.
Dude, but what about you got to do the old mate sort of like, sure, how big is your car? Come on, tell me. 5 inches? 6 inches? 10 inches? Come on. Around?
Mislav,
Stern.
Can you
are you
also
talking
tell?
about?
I'm just saying, like, maybe you should just become Howard Stern.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
No?
But you know what, Mislav? I think that you should be taking that position. It's just a little.
He's taking
it's just a
Artie's
little weird that he
position.
has this squirmish 10-year-old attitude about talking about sex. But you really need to get over that, miss.
Me?
Yeah.
Can I be Robin?
Well, every time like say Arlene
Who's
and I
that?
talk about it.
Robin's the black chick on
Oh,
the
she's
house.
awesome, dude. She's so good.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is.
No.
Dude, I love the idea that she gets probably like 200K to be like, that's crazy talk. Like, I think it's hilarious. What's bad
I don't
about
think she
that?
gets 200K. I think she gets 200 mil.
Well, even better.
Yeah.
Why don't you like not into that vibe?
Because I just think Robin is just a shit Jackie O.
Nah,
She
I think
is.
she's
It's the
better.
same dynamic as
What
Kyle
does
and
she
Jackie O.
con-
But
It
I
is.
think that the student has become the master because they base their show off the Howard Stern show.
Do
but I
they?
just think that Howard Stern and Robin are dumber than Kyle and Jackie O.
Yeah.
And I do think that Kyle and Jackie O are geniuses, unironically.
Well, Robin doesn't contribute that much.
yeah, that's
You've gotta. But what she does do spectacularly well is not get triggered. Sometimes it'd be,
not.
You could be Robin.
I could be Robin. That's my
true,
skill
actually.
too.
You could be
no
Robin.
trigger. Yeah,
Let's be honest. This is the fucking Howard Stern show. Like, you are Robin.
I'm Robin. He's Artie Lang.
I'm Stern, and you're just the guest. You're Henry Rollins.
Who's that? Is that fat guy that was just like, can I have some Coke?
No, it's the guy that's like he's like a aging alternative icon, like ex-punk rocker from the 80s. It's just got heaps of tattoos. It's like I'm still like firing with rage even though I'm in my 60s.
Oh, Angry Anderson.
No. Henry Rollins is a real person. But
Okay,
like,
right.
But I think
it's
that's the vibe.
him and that Japanese guy from Star Trek.
oh, what's his
Weird,
name?
His little gaggle of freaks that he's sorted over.
Gaggle of freaks just sitting in some plush LA studio just making fart jokes for insane amounts of money. It's like,
I know. And like how throughout his like 30 years, he just goes in and out of favor with certain people with Down syndrome or some other ailment and just makes them a guest for like 6 months and then has a falling out with them.
Really?
And then it's just like, you're banned. You're banned.
he does have this weird array
you,
of guests.
Rod.
He does. He does, hey. He's got these random and all of his like all of his guests that are like, you know, like there's Stern, the black lady, and then there's like the third tier down is like it's almost like the assistant, and he's easily the most terrified. He's actively like displaying his fear of losing his job on a daily basis. He's really nervous, but he's still there's nothing worse or maybe better, funnier, but it's very cringy when there's a man that is extremely nervous and trying to be really funny. That combo. And then, like, it's like, I might get axed at any time. Does Stern still like me? And then, like, inevitably, they all go. And you know what? Because they suck. They wish they should never have been there.
But does he fire people?
I'm pretty sure
he's got like his old crew still working with him.
No, he's definitely
Like I think everyone knows Robin doesn't deserve 200 million, but I
Speak
don't
for
think Howard
yourself.
Stern cares.
No, but he does. It's like he does have like those assistants that are like 3-4 levels down.
Yeah.
like he's got her. She's all the way up
Well,
there.
at
She's
this
like
point,
the
it's an
pharmacist.
empire.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, like she's all the way up there, and then he's kind of here, and then there's just this guy chilling in the corner, and he's just like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just a kid. No, you're all right.
Love
You're
that.
all
There's
right.
just 10 mics set up and 10 desperate people
Yeah.
auditioning, I suppose, to say a single sentence.
Yeah, and like
That's
radio
the show.
on a dying
you seen-
dinosaur medium.
Have you seen any of Howard Stern episodes with the small dick contest?
No, but
It is fucked. He would get like just the people with smallest penises in America, and he would ask them to come to the studio, and he would
Measure
line
the
them up.
oh, he measured.
Well, a lot of times there wasn't much to measure.
Oh,
It was. I've never seen shit like that, and I've seen all of those episodes. Now.
It's quintessentially American. It's just quintessential American entertainment. But like, and it's kind of funny and stuff. But it's like, at times you got to be like, maybe it's good China's going to be the next superpower.
I know. If that's the height of entertainment.
I know. It's like, it is like some part of you is just like, gotta love it. All American entertainment. Also, we've got lunch at a giant enchilada the size of a house. It costs $4. He's a supersized Coke and shit. But it's like, it's just gross. It's so like, ugh. Like imagine being in I don't know. I suppose the net has followed that trajectory of like stupid. I mean, like, oh, what do we do on this? We just eat chili and punish ourselves and like be stupid.
Oh,
But,
I've
like,
got an update about that. So something bad happened yesterday.
Oh,
The shit that you should have taken from last week. Is that right?
I wish that was a
ring burner.
So I took out the chip packet from last week out of my bag, and I was like, oh, you know what? I think I'll have one chip.
I would have done the same. Yeah,
But you know what the fucked up thing was? I guess like it was oxidized. It was 10 times worse. It was just in my room for hours. I was in pain. It wouldn't go away. I went and I had like
It was
some of
probably
like
your mum that just snuck in, tasted one, and thought, "This is not spicy enough for Pakistani food." And
I think that's what happened. But I can tell you, like it was my
rubbing jalapenos on the chip. Like I'm doing my son a favor.
my fingertips aren't on fire yet, and there we go. Smell skin. Okay.
And then something even worse happened a few hours later, which I will not get into.
That's where it got really
Apparently,
Pakistani.
let me just tell you, once you have the chip, and even if you wash your hands, there might be some residual Carolina pepper on you.
I can.
Oh,
And
well,
if
that's
you-
way worse than what I was expecting.
Yeah,
I
me
thought it was a
too.
shit, but you just had a jalapeno wank.
Oh,
Yeah.
that should be a thing. That should be a.
Yes, that happened.
Jalapeno wank sounds like the sound. That's a band name.
Jeez, why is his life just this never-ending movie of American Pie?
And then I started reading
Uncomfortable
about
sexual situation.
know.
What? Yeah, go again.
And then, no,
With Blink-182 playing in the background, just down, 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 ooh, down, 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 down. It's all right.
His mum knocking on the door. Is everything all right in there, Ali? Yes, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, good.
What you think about me? It's that's so good. That is really
He's
satisfying.
growing.
it was.
Oi, boys, can we agree? College rock, best music of all time? More musically
Why
complicated
do you
and
have
better than classical music? Can we agree on
Well,
that?
like that Matt Damon song from Euro Trip. That's the greatest song of all time.
Matt Damon wrote a song?
Yeah, well, he was
Is
a
there anything
Peter.
that man can't do?
What was it called? Scotty doesn't know. You haven't heard that?
Yeah, that's right.
That,
Yeah.
I've heard
Hey,
that.
Matt Damon's in that movie.
Jesus Christ.
Good for him.
Dude, I
He's
watched
the one who had sex with Scotty's girlfriend.
Yeah, that's right. I watched. I had a sad moment of like cruising. I don't know, Stan on Netflix, and like when I'm not on there that often, but when sometimes you just like you don't want some like Hollywood acclaimed film, but you don't want. Oh, it's reminded me as well. I'm just going to segue into that, and I will draw an arrow on my book to remind me of the segue. SBS, eat your heart out.
Fuck.
So
Miss Love organised.
So this is going to be a great
Basically,
segue. You know how sometimes this is a segment. This is a segment I want to talk. But you know how sometimes you don't want to do like Holly. You don't want to do. I don't want to watch The Revenant, but I also don't want to watch. I'm really sorry, Jordan, but Bandcamp. What's it called? American Pie
Bandcamp
Bandcamp.
4.
But you don't want to watch that either. You're not right there.
Pete, have you seen American Pie Bandcamp?
What?
What do you
Did you
guys?
say yes or no?
He said no.
Damn, I thought that would have been playing as a projection, like at your wedding.
Yeah, probably.
Should.
He just doesn't want anyone to know that he was the main character.
Anyways, so I went in the dark web of Netflix, aka a movie that I really regretted watching, and that movie is Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Or Strikes Back.
Why was it bad?
Can I sum that movie up in 3 words?
Yeah.
Is this accurate?
Yeah.
It's been done.
Why was the first one
fair.
Jay and Silent Bob?
Definitely fair. Like, it's like an all-star started cast of Chris Rock and the guy who played Luke Skywalker, and it was just another one of those movies. It was the teetering. It was just the final flames of the end of that era of like 90s romps where the chick who played Nadia, I think her name's Shannon Elizabeth. It was the last time where it was a compulsory.
She is move over that woman that is probably a man that you're looking at on Instagram.
Yeah,
Nadia
excellent.
is the hottest chick on earth.
That okay, yeah. I mean,
And she's still hot now. And you know what she does? And she started an animal conservation charity.
No.
That's what she does with her life.
are you serious?
Yeah.
I thought
So she
porn
was a
for sure.
catch.
Huh?
She was a catch.
Yeah.
I would have thought porn for sure. I would have put my money on that. But like, that's the next best
Me
thing.
too, actually. I would too.
There's a market.
If someone had asked me, because isn't that what Tara Reid pretty much does now?
No,
Porn.
Have you
way.
seen her? Well, she doesn't do porn, but have you seen her recently?
No, I haven't. I had the
She's
biggest crush on
completely
her.
drug fucked. You would not want. Everyone had a crush on her. She
Yeah.
was fucking
She was-
hot.
she was so
She was just but you look at her now.
I will be doing that.
You would not want to have sex with her
Right.
at all, because she's just like
Wow.
Lindsay
I would
Lohan,
have
but
never
worse.
expected a 50-year-old crackhead wouldn't be hot.
Yeah, she's a
Wait, is crack- is
50-year-old
crack a thing?
crackhead. By the way, I saw the new Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah, give us a bit.
And I will give you a quick review.
And then I'll go into perfect.
It-
Is the Jay and Silent Bob.
It's not worth it, guys.
Hey, are you gonna get cancelled now? I think I got cancelled for daring to pay out.
I
Avatar.
don't think I would. Dude, the movie
No,
is
everyone
like
says
very
it's
average.
bad. Yeah.
Really? They say everyone says it's bad.
Yeah, the movie, like,
Everyone says it's just Inception if it didn't make sense.
well, and the thing is, like, it
great.
feels like Inception 2. The central idea, the problem is, like, I understand from the way that guy's made the movie that he thinks that his idea is really smart, but it's not that smart. It's okay, but then it has nothing to back it up.
Well, you're just really doing my review of Inception. So,
Well,
a
but
shitter
Inception
version
was
of Inception.
a shitter version of Inception.
Dude, it's so dumb. Like, I really didn't understand the genius of Inception, that it was,
was-
did you know that your subconscious mind also exists?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I liked it, but it was a bit like they should have just Inception should have been called Leo. He's a sexy guy. It's just him looking sexy, and I got no problem with that. But like, let's not pretend it's some really deep. It was made it
wasn't deep and meaningful.
Like that $50 million budget was all to make sure like Leo looks sexy falling into a bath. That was it, and I'm okay with that. But let's not beat around the bush.
Yeah. It really was just Transformers meets The Secret.
Don't you think like those movies or like Inception, they're like a puzzle movie. Like
They are,
you
but I didn't
go along with it. It's somewhat
Yeah.
more intellectually stimulating.
And you know what I noticed about this? And I would like to hear MLK's view on this and your guys's. Mm-hmm. I don't like plots. I'm done with plots.
That makes
What
a
do you
lot
mean?
of sense. That's why you like Bandcamp.
explains my entire channel.
I second Miss Love with that one.
it really
that was
does.
brutal. Dude, Bandcamp is awesome, but let's admit it, it's not a good movie.
There's no plot.
Dude, I'm really
Oh,
standing
well-
by. Like, in my mind, it's fucked, but it's true.
What do you enjoy?
The top movies that I've
tits,
ever
that's what you
seen would
enjoy.
just be, Blade Runner, Citizen Kane, American Pie, Bandcamp.
Do you know what the fucking problem with Bandcamp was? Now I remember as a teenager when I saw it. The problem with Bandcamp was that it followed after this like incredible American Pie trilogy. And as a child, the best thing about American Pie were the boobies. Like when you get to see like semi-naked people.
It's true.
And then I saw Bandcamp and I was like, well, this narrative is pretty shit, but whatever. I mean, I'm going to see some good boob. There was none of that if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, no.
Is
it
he
wasn't.
wrong? I can't
Oh no,
remember.
wait. I can't remember either.
There was...
Oh, you're so right. The whole movie was thinking, yeah, chick's gonna take your chap out.
and she never does.
Yeah,
That was the worst thing about
Such a
Bandcamp.
tease.
But let's to be fair to them, they made it up with the next installment, Naked Mile. Am I right?
Yeah. They did their
came
market
good.
research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it wasn't all about
Focus group.
that flute gag couldn't expand to another $10 million project. There needs to be one other gag. Okay.
Time to sign up a guy whose acting credentials are just one Pepsi Max ad as the main character.
They might as well.
That was the new Stifler after.
Yeah, they might as well have got the living room dinette. Oh yeah, guy to be in the fucking movie.
Wouldn't that be amazing? I'm a rompy teenager.
You wanna
Hey
hear-
man, college was wild, huh?
Do you want to hear a crazy fact?
Oh yeah.
The tits in American Pie 2 were the first tits I had ever seen in my entire life.
That's not that crazy.
That's not that crazy. I think that was everyone.
That's not a crazy.
I think that was
fact.
every young man on planet Earth.
Really? Really? So that's a common thing?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Definitely.
I thought
I think it was
that
the
was
same
weird.
for me.
And I saw two together because if you remember, the first tits in that movie is a lesbian scene. So I was like, wait, my first is two.
Damn, dude, that was
double
every,
ups.
That was every young man's like journey into manhood, wasn't it? Just seeing like a really lame, like soft core 90s like nudity with like again down. So good.
All music for an entire year was just an audition to get on American Pie 2.
I know.
I loved it.
I loved it too. I thought that was how it should be in a way.
Yeah.
But
any
You live in an
band.
American Pie movie. But true story, only an hour ago we're at Jordan's house.
Yeah.
And we're asking Jordan. True story, no fucking lying a single
You're gonna
thing.
love this.
We're about to like leave to come to the studio, and we're
No,
saying,
wait. What we were watching? Give me a little shout out before.
oh yeah, we were watching Miss Love's new music video, which is great. It's gonna come out in a month.
It's coming out. New song dropping 1st of October, even though I think one of you guys leaked it somehow, but just try to just don't really think about it well that's it's a song, but it's not the same song, but when it comes October 1st, yeah, it'll be new and exciting. Keeping your eye on that.
It's
What
actually
is this,
a
a
good
Lil
song.
Wayne song from 2008? What,
Yeah, I
what
know.
are things getting leaked?
Yeah, watch this space.
But I will also say it is the best thing that Miss Love's ever done.
It is.
in terms
I
of
agree with that,
editing,
actually. It's a
and
good
yeah.
song.
If I may use the most overused word of 2020, it's a vibe.
Yeah,
It is a vibe.
It is
It's actually legitimately a good song.
A vibe. Anyway,
And a good music
Verb.
video. But anyway, so Miss Love was showing me like the Rush or whatever the music video, and then all of a sudden Jordan is behind us completely naked.
no, it was way better than that.
Oh, yeah, it was
So
better than that.
He's so in his own world. It was kind of like seeing a dad. I had this flashback to like being like, when you accidentally see a dad naked when you're a kid or something. Like he came out, his undies were like half down, like above his knees. And this is what he said. This is how it went. I'll reenact it. It was just sort of just like, here's the door, walks in, just sort of like, hiya. Oh, fuck, I'm naked. Oh, sorry.
He's like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know I was naked."
I didn't know I was naked. Just full naked in front of us. Saw the whole thing. Oh, no, I didn't know I was naked. But the weirdest thing was,
Naked
it was like some
millisecond.
ritualistic native dance. Standing, staring up at an imaginary full moon for like 2.4 seconds, undies half the way down before he was just like, hey, I'm not doing what I usually do in my life, which is ponder scripts whilst half naked. There's two people in front of me, and they just went ping. And it was like, sorry. It was incredible. It was a real insight into joy. It was great. Like I like that he's that dedicated to the craft.
40s, I hardly knew me.
Yeah,
Know me better than me.
I nailed that, right?
That was exactly what was happening at Bye Bye.
Exactly.
In fact, I was walking out to say to you, Miss Love, you know that Cole script that we're, oh God.
That's what happened. His undies. This man is in such. He lives life in the fast lane so much to the extent he hasn't got time to pull up his undies in front of other human beings. Not consciously. He is in his own head that much. He hasn't got time for that shit. Like not being naked is a problem for him, and that shit is funny.
It's true.
It's fucking funny, dude. That's an entrepreneur. Here's a rule for entrepreneurism. Everyone's just like, I'm hustling, got that hustle, working hard. I'm making sure I finish my day job and I go into the hustle at 9 o'clock at night till like 11 o'clock at night. Got that hustle. No, you're not hustling at all unless you find yourself at least once a week daydreaming about your work, undies around your ankles in front of other people. The Miss Love method.
The self
Stamp of approval.
Unless you're doing that, you're not going to be successful.
That's how you're not going to be
Is
successful.
it really a hustle?
Like, do you back that?
Yeah. I can't not back it.
It's the success, like tried and true method. I'm pretty
All
sure
right, Dad, I've officially earned it. I'm putting it on my Instagram. Friendlyjordies entrepreneur.
Yes. Hashtag can you feel it?
Entrepreneur means naked, right? Look, I am so happy that happened, and
was
also
great. It
that
was
you
great.
guys weren't that shocked.
Nah,
Because
not
we've all
really.
seen each
I
other's
was not
dicks.
shocked at all.
So, look, you know when you're like 6 years old or like 8 years old and you're always just like having baths with your friends naked?
Yeah.
We may as well just bring that back,
Might as
boys.
well.
We're there.
Wait, is that what you guys did when you were 8? You were,
Yeah, that's the norm, wasn't it?
what, just like naked with like other kids?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, just because your parents are just like, save water.
Yeah, that's what we. Yeah,
and
that's
go
what
in
it
that
was.
laundry tub instead of the bath.
So like
That's
your parents would say save water, call over your friends so you can bathe together?
Like if
Yeah.
they were around.
to Australia, cunt.
Like if they were around, yeah, it'd be like, just get in there, shave water. You're not gonna have 2 baths. Yeah.
All right. That's kind of distressing.
The funniest part about Ali's realization is like, all right, it wasn't just Pakistan. That did that.
No.
And so
And replace
That's just-
26.
and did they also make you suck their dick? No?
Don't even-
That was just me? Okay.
So explicitly, you need to learn the art of like visualization without
Hey, I had to learn-
super literal.
No, Ali doesn't need that.
I've
can't
already
take your
had to
law
learn
degree-
the art of sucking dick as a child. Let this be.
Holy shit. Okay, maybe he does. Maybe he does need to know.
He has to learn that like law degree rhetoric can't be fucking taken like just superimposed to like extremely fucked up red hot sex jokes about kids. This isn't about like the law about like painting, you know, those white lines in between the road lanes, which I assume
That's
you
what
do.
we study at law school.
Hey, speak for yourself. That's pretty racy.
Yeah,
It is.
fair enough.
All right, okay, so let's move on. We've got 2 meaty segments.
Mine? Because mine's going to take about, I just realized, 4 seconds to finish.
All right, let's do that.
Go for it.
I want to know all your opinions in the MLKs, as well as the 2 commies to my left and right. All ears.
Labels.
I think I found the best movie I've ever made. Discuss. And that movie is Richie Rich, starring Macaulay Culkin. End of segment.
He's got.
It was a flop at the time.
but
That
it was
not
ahead
due
of
to
its
own
time.
fault. Yeah,
It was ahead of its time.
Dude, I
really was.
I had many attempts at watching it.
You
Almost
know why
like
it was ahead of its time as well? Because it made Richie Rich. I mean, it made Macaulay Culkin a meme before he was a meme.
How?
Because
Well,
it was just a,
It was
a
ridiculous.
stupid show.
It was ridiculous. It was like.
Are you talking about the movie? The movie, right? Yeah.
It was like
Don't you think it would have been less ridiculous if Daryl Summers played Richie Rich?
Absolutely. It would
was
have been
so
less ridiculous if Burt Newton played him.
well,
Less
that
ridiculous.
goes without
It
saying.
would have been incredible.
I'm just a small boy with a McDonald's. You want some? Yes, 10
Also-
years old.
How cool was that?
It's a documentary.
Or later.
Yeah, he is Richie Rich.
Yeah,
It's a
and he still does, like, can't get it out of his head. They have to do it like 1,000 times because he's just being like, well, go to that McDonald's, but first, Irene has some very good news
Moira.
about pillows.
Moira.
Yeah, Moira.
I enjoyed it.
What did you enjoy? It's just
Thoroughly.
it's a fantasy.
That's why I
How
loved
could
it.
you
I
hate
loved
it so much?
No.
He's got his own macas.
I loved everything about it. I loved the stupid product placement. I loved how the director seemed to be actively trying to make fun of Macaulay Culkin and ruin his career by putting him in the movie.
And succeeded.
And succeeding. I love the terrible acting. I love how like there's a scene about like every movie at that time was sort of just like, okay, every single movie we have to include a subplot about flubber, some sort of like gooey shit that does something. Like that was in there. There was like shitty inventions. Also, this weird thing about it, like this weird period in the 90s where it was like, you know, Nirvana, rough aesthetics, like kids can handle it. There was these really intense scenes of like intense violence, like people dying, like kids getting like like pistol whipped and shit. I was just like, whoa, what? This is like Die Hard action in
Maybe
the
if
movie.
you look on the video cover, it was rated R.
I feel like I swear to God, there was some like really like because it was made in '94, and like obviously the context was they were just like, yeah, come as you are just came out. You can rape that person. Like it was just like this bizarre dichotomy, and like it's so it's just so of its time. It's so cringy, and like his voice was breaking, so he wasn't a kid anymore, and it was just so badly written. This is what I'm gonna say. It was the hardest I laughed in a movie in maybe my whole life, at least 10 years. Like when you laugh so hard that like you get stitches, like your sides really hurt. That I was rewinding scenes.
It really is your sense of humor.
Yeah, it is. I was rewinding scenes.
This is Miss Love's sense of humor in a nutshell. Bad.
Yeah, it is.
Anything that sucks, he loves.
But dude, it was so bad that it was just like.
But was it shitty though?
Yes!
I remember watching it as a kid and genuinely thinking, "Oh, this is a sick movie."
Me too.
Can we watch like Happy Gilmore after this?
Dude,
Yep.
Look.
Now that's a double bill I can get behind.
Me too. But it was shitty. It was really, really.
And
it
I
was so
think
shitty. It was
The
amazing.
glaringly obvious point that you haven't addressed, the elephant in the room, is that one British man that seemed to have made it in Hollywood,
Yeah.
and that was always the bad guy with this specific face.
He wasn't the bad guy. He was the butler. He was the butler, and his name
was he?
And how good's
But he was a bad guy butler, right?
No, he was a good guy. They tried to make him out like a bad guy, but spoiler alert, by the way. But he turned out to be a good guy. But how good's this?
The old Snape turnaround.
But how good's this? Richie Rich his family's famous for making chocolate bars, and his butler's name's Cadbury. But apparently, because they didn't want to pay for the royalties, he didn't call him Cadbury. They called him Cadbury. Cadbury.
Wow. That's a
dude,
good legal team.
It was so fucking. And then there was the bumbling fat guy who was like, I'm the bumbling fat guy that likes to eat sandwiches, and I'm the guy who creates the flubber, and I help Richie Rich because dude. I just want to watch it again. I think I'm just going to have to watch it again tonight. Actually, I'm saving myself for Richie
Dude, let's
Rich
watch
2.
it after the pod up late. I'm down to watch Richie Rich tonight.
What though? It's not the most quintessential 90s film.
Bullshit.
Because, no, there's not that bad guy with the ponytail
True.
that at
From
some
Baby's
point
Day Out,
just
yeah.
like takes a gun out from like a trench coat or something, goes like, and then gets away on a motorbike. Being like,
Well, the bad guy has a mullet, and he does shoot a laser at them at some point. Is that close enough for you?
it is a black and gold replacement for it, but
Right.
nonetheless, sometimes you want to go with the basics.
Yeah, look, I really think you shouldn't say anything before you rewatch, because you just there's parts that are like it is like a art installation, like postmodern performance art piece. I'm not exaggerating. Like there's a scene where for no reason at all, he sits down, and he goes, it's such badly written dialogue, and he's just like, yeah, I'm going to be going on, what was it, Cadbury? A sabbaticals, a sabbatical. He's such a bad actor too, McCoy's like, a sabbatical. So I can run things around here. And the guy's like, run things. And then for no reason at all, no explanation, doesn't make any sense, picks up a magnifying glass and puts it over his mouth so it's just like, his face is, and just starts going,
Sticks out his tongue.
but like for ages, and the guy's just sort of just like, yeah.
Jeez, I didn't know Harmony Korine directed.
It was art house as fuck, dude. It was so art house. It's gone full circle. It's like pushing the boundary. It goes like Lars von Trier, the guy who did Melancholia, Richie Rich. Like it was just like, I'm telling you, boys, once you see it, you'll just be like, wow, very thought provoking.
All right.
Review.
So
You like we should call it like
more reviews of things that get like 13% on Rotten Tomatoes.
24. I checked how much. 24. 24.
Double up. Yeah.
I'm not joking. 24, and IMDb was like a roaring 4.5 out of 10.
is that movie
the
famous
James
for being
Curley
bad?
of movies.
Yeah, it's definitely famous for being bad.
It's famous
but
for
like
being bad.
I am It's like, yeah.
I'm the only one who thought it was a classic.
You were, but I'm gonna admit right here, yeah, I'm doing the whole I like it ironically, but I actually don't. I like it because it's bad, but it's a perfect mix of some's genuinely good, some's genuinely absolutely terrible. It's got everything you need in a movie. It's gonna knock out Bandcamp for you, dude.
Okay.
That's a big
Challenge accepted.
I'm putting it out there.
All right, we watch it tonight, and MLK's you watch it tonight as well. Can we?
And subscribe to our Upload podcast, and we'll let you know what we think about it.
If
Yes.
that's not worth paying for,
Subscribe to
For
our
the rest
Upload
of your life,
podcast.
I don't know what is.
yeah. In fact, as if
Once you get in, it's a blood oath.
I'm pretty, yeah, that's right. And I'm pretty sure at this point, like if you were just like, hey, I'll come over and have lunch with you, or I'll give you my in-depth, as in me being you, I will give you my in-depth perspective of Richie Rich. They would way rather that. That's like number one fan like info right there.
It's just like, what a weird. This podcast is weird.
Yeah, it is. It's weird.
Okay,
Well, look, also, I've just got to say, we do need more patrons because we are looking to get a studio pimped out.
Yeah.
We're getting out of here in 2 weeks.
this is our second last podcast in this studio.
I'm gonna lick all
So,
their
if
faces.
you like this content and you want more of it that isn't filmed and is a lot more naughty, it's
Yes.
pretty much what you would imagine girls in year 4 talk about at slumber parties.
we're 30,
And men.
yeah, and men.
But it's the same thing. And if that tickles your fancy,
It's
that's what you get.
it's naked news. That's what it is.
And
We'll-
for those
To be
like,
honest, I will probably be naked.
yeah.
and for those loyal patron subscribers, one of you is a rat. They've been leaking it out to the
What's with the
outside
leaks? What's with the leaks? I
World.
don't
Not
get-
cool, dude. Because if you do it, you've got to let us know because we talk about some real shit that we don't want out there. So if you're gonna leak
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
at
Now
least
you
let
broke
us
the
know.
bond.
Oh,
So
yeah.
now it's not worth subscribing to. I hope that you're happy. You've ruined it for all the people that are going to subscribe to it regardless.
That's
Yes.
right. You broke the bond. We're going to find you and we're going to not tell you what we think of Richie Rich. And it's going to be you who's suffering, not us. So don't be naughty. Don't be naughty. Be good.
Yeah, please don't ruin my life by
yeah.
releasing that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to talk about something, and this is completely something that you guys probably don't want to hear about, but
I, like Avi Yemeni.
Avi
Hey,
Yemeni
that's my segment.
is sick. No, I've been reading on Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan.
Oh,
is it just?
Well, you can pronounce it in different ways. Genghis Khan, Genghis Khan, Genghis Khan.
Celtics. How do you say it?
Yeah, you're right.
Call him Genghis Khan.
But you know, like
I thought the S was silent.
Genghis Khan was a badass psycho.
that's the thing. That's
So
why I want to
weird
talk
that
about
everybody's
it.
always
because
saying
I don't think
Genghis
so.
Khan was awesome.
I'm not saying he was
No, this
awesome.
like-
Sucked.
Why did
Okay.
all the murdering?
Why? This is such a weird conversation. You both.
And also, I feel like I could take him in a fight.
Yeah, not if he had a spear.
You probably could, but you know, like this is what I found out recently. Do you know how they sometimes, like in olden languages and still in Pakistan, very commonly they call like Down syndrome children Mongolian babies?
Yeah.
Do you know why they say that?
No.
It's because they
Look like
still,
Mongols.
no, but because they say that Genghis Khan has raped so many women that every now and then just another Mongolian child takes birth in your family. That's where it comes from, and that's where like a lot of this thing about
You know,
like
not that implausible of a theory.
It's completely implausible.
Ignore science.
this Genghis Khan is like
Explain my eyes.
all of the.
Okay, all right.
No, I don't know.
We're just going to leave that
Yeah,
one.
but I don't.
I've got to say, look, if anyone asks, I'm not on that train.
Yeah, I don't even.
But the reason why like most people think he's a monster or he's a really bad guy is because most of our understanding about him comes from Persian literature, from the Persian Empire. And yeah, they hate him because they were adversaries. But there's this new thing. So after the Soviet Union fell, there's this new document that came out, which is known as the Secret History, because Mongolia tried to like keep it away from public knowledge, because it's sort of like a lot of it is myth. It's a bit like the Bible. Some of it is myth, but some of it is actually like going into Genghis Khan's actual personal life. Some vulnerable moments, because they portrayed him as like this god, and some of this stuff shows that he's not God. He's he's a human being. But anyway,
Wait, what's your
You know
point?
what else?
my point is that all of that rape, pillaging, burning cities is not inaccurate, but that's only one aspect of it. That's only one aspect of his
He invented
rule.
Mongolian lamb.
It was
That's
also
obviously-
looting.
Well, there was that too.
Basing.
I'm not denying,
And for what? Just so he can have more camel skins on
but it was
his unit.
also inventing a language. It was
Really?
also coming up with
Yeah,
the
well,
only
fuck him.
administrative system that was 2/3 more than Alexander at his peak, and maintained it for 100 years. He's also the person who managed to successfully invade Iraq and keep it for 100 years. I'm trying to talk
Oh,
about
shit,
America
yeah,
that couldn't
George Bush
do it.
do that, yeah.
Because of his so the story of like Temujin.
Keep going. I'm just going to get some more.
Hey,
Hey, man, Miss Love isn't already interested in it, and
Yeah, I
you're
am.
leaving too.
Watch.
fuck off.
Pull your weight for an hour a week.
Excuse me. Excuse me, Mr. Flip Phone. I'm the one looking at the topics, Mr. Got to show my mates his cock on a daily basis.
Hey, they can't listen to Jordan now.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, I saw your cock. I'm looking at.
This is like, we just descend into Guido's door each and every week.
Well,
That's right.
You just yelling at someone. Come down here and shake it.
Yeah, that's right. I saw your cock. I get to look at my phone.
Hey, want to see it again?
I got it right here, any time of the week. And if you don't like it, you owe me one pastrami sandwich, one Philly cheese.
I could do with a pastrami sandwich right now.
Genghis Khan is great. I have another topic though, if you want to continue.
Well, let me just finish this Genghis Khan a little bit, because
No, I want to hear Miss Love also talk about watching Home Alone 3.
by the way, also a classic. Let's admit it. 3 classic.
I'm not on that train.
4 was
Dude,
kind of
Ali, all of the fucking really hard defensive position.
But 3
Genghis Khan was actually mad. Home Alone 3 was the best one.
We had the most I'm not saying it's the best one, but it was actually, I'm going to say it was the best one. It had the most amount of violence. It had
There was-
violence.
dude,
Isn't
there
that the one that had a kid with a mullet in it? And you're
Yeah,
thinking,
bold-
wasn't
bold
this
cut.
just... This was too late to be having mullets.
Yes, it was a bit like that.
What is going on? Like, this was not...
Hey, now it's too late to be having mullets, and you see him all the time.
They're cool again.
Yeah, but they're kind of back for a certain kind of scum lord that hangs around Newtown.
Yeah, that's true.
The fact that that guy had
That
a
is
mullet in that day and age just screams 3 words to me: Salt Lake City.
Damn.
That might be true. Okay, coming back to Genghis. So the impressive thing about this guy is
the Ganges.
the Genghis. The impressive thing about this guy
It's actually a
is
river.
of how the odds were stacked against him to be able to do what he did.
The history is amazing.
History is amazing, but this guy in particular is amazing because, so, you know, like we think of these great conquerors, like people like Alexander the Great or Napoleon or someone. All of them, even though they might not come from like the aristocracy, a lot of them do, but even if they don't, they come with like this rich tradition of being able to, first of all, learn a language, be able, they like Alexander would have people like Aristotle advising him on how to do it. They've been reared up, but like, dude, this guy, everything was like against him ever being able to achieve what he did.
Really?
He never wanted in the first place. Apparently, so
He's the original Friendlyjordies, is what you're saying.
Friendlyjordies.
Well, I'm glad you said
always-
it, myself, because I was thinking it.
He has one aspect to him which is very similar to Friendlyjordies, but Friendlyjordies, on the other hand, like Jordan always wanted to do what he's doing right now. He never did it.
Really? What was-
He was born into like this lower nobility. His dad had kidnapped his mom from the Tartars, and had and which was like a big thing in still is in like Central Asian Mongolian
Yes,
culture.
the creators of tartar sauce. That tribe was hectic.
Kidnapping of girls, the kidnapping of brides. It's a
And
cultural thing.
flatheads. Winning combo.
So he was born. So his mom was abducted by his dad, and
And was she hot?
I
Record show.
am unsure. But what I do know is that it was such a big issue that it basically put Genghis' life in like constant misery because of that. So
That was the style of the time.
Yeah, but like, okay, so he was born into like this.
Style.
He was born into like a.
Mislav, I've never said this before, but you are a funny man.
Oh, stop it. Right back at you, big fella. No, it's just it's crazy. This is,
Cheers.
oh. Do try it. Usually go for Till.
I want to listen to this podcast more.
Ali is spilling some
Truths.
tea.
Tea.
Tea for two.
Why have you become the try guys with these shit puns? So his mom was kidnapped by his dad. His dad is eventually killed when Genghis is 9 years old. He's a kid. And once he's killed, because his dad has roughed up some feathers by kidnapping his mom, his tribe wants nothing to do with them.
Jesus, are you sure this isn't Kim Jong-il's life?
Yeah, neighbors.
Well, I guess it's a common
exactly
life.
the same.
Does it?
Not exactly the same. But there seems to be some overlap in it. Maybe he's kind of modeling himself off Genghis Khan. Because,
Maybe.
you know, if you talk to a lot of Asians and how everybody says who was, you know, this great leader or some boss of history, people will always say Julius Caesar, Alexander the Great. All Asians say Genghis Khan.
Well,
Because I don't think you can get more boss than that.
Yeah.
Just generally speaking.
And
The
also,
size
what
of
other,
his
like,
empire.
what other, like masculine figures, like heroic figures that they have in their lives? It's just Bruce Lee. It was like Genghis Khan, whole lot of nothing, Bruce Lee. So they kind of got to take
Yes, with a few exceptions of guys with really wise Chinese beards that always half the picture seems to be faded from this side.
Right, Confucius
And this
or whatever.
face being like,
Yeah. That's not exactly. That's not like boss though. That's kind of wise.
yeah, I don't know, but also just the fact that all of their philosophies is always just like, respect your family. If you don't, you get beaten.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Like, Ali's just like, wise words.
Yeah, I'm seconding that too.
That's what this story's about too.
But anyway, yeah.
So he's 9 years old. His dad's killed. The family, the tribe, basically tells them to fuck off. Mongolia is the coldest place on earth.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's the coldest country on earth.
Even Russia, colder than Russia.
Well, I think
Pretty much
Mongolia
in
is
Russia.
consistently the coldest place on earth. So in Russia, you'd have
What a
colder
shit
places and
pig.
warmer places.
Nah, I've always
and
wanted to
also
go.
only like a few
my
people there. So like very scattered population.
Yeah.
So
And- but I
tribal
will say this as
loyalty
well.
mattered a
They-
lot.
They do seem hot, but anyway.
And also, I assume the food's good.
I do not assume
I do
the
not
food is
assume that
good.
at all.
I think that's
Really?
going to taste like
No,
ass.
Okay.
it's
And
most
I think
like
that most of it probably
here's
is just
blood.
camel's ass.
Here's horse's blood. Here's horse's blood mixed with ox's blood.
Fair enough.
Fuck.
Blood cocktail. I'm into that.
Anyway, so he.
Anyway.
So his family, he's left. There's an older brother, older half brother who ends up being his rival, and he's not cool with them. So he's basically a 9-year-old kid whose dad has just been killed and is supposed to be in a position of like maintaining his family now because they've been kicked out of their tribe, and that's a big deal because tribe is your protection. He's too young to do any of that. So his mom becomes the tribal head or like the family head. And he lives a really good life a life of poverty. But so by this time he's like 16 years old and he finds the love of his life. In Mongolian culture, apparently the chicks make the first move.
It's just home and away, man. You're conflating home and away with Genghis Khan.
So the chick makes the first move in Mongolian culture, and so does his wife. She's slightly older than him, probably a year older than him, and he falls in love. Right, and that's the life he wants for himself, living in the outskirts, rearing his animals, and that's what he wants.
That does sound like Mislav's paradise.
Yes, it does. No wonder I'm
You're living in a
drawn to it.
Mongolian yurt, sucking milk straight out of the teat of a camel.
He
Fatty.
That's mad.
All right, I think that we all know it's about time. Poll: should Genghis Khan be cancelled?
That's a cool
I think
poll. Actually.
Genghis
Matt,
Khan-
get that poll going.
get that
Genghis
poll
Khan
going.
be
Matt,
cancelled
Pete, I still
for
don't know
his
which one of you
problematic
does it.
behaviour.
Yeah.
he's already cancelled,
He was dating 17-year-olds.
but he was 16.
But I don't know if he has been cancelled because, like.
But that's the grey area that we need to discuss. And how fucking annoying is it when those piece of shit YouTubers say this, have this conversation.
I know. It's like I don't want.
Fuck off. Your whole job's a conversation. You don't have to like say it's like all noble, the fact that you're talk.
How does Genghis Khan's story take you back to hating on hipsters, Jordan?
I'm sorry.
Fucking
It's
crazy.
pathological.
Careful, his pants.
It's so annoying.
His pants are going to come off. His pants are going It's happening again.
From this one, Miss Love.
Yes, sir. You're the boss, man.
Miss Love would do that as well.
Looks
It's
like-
that impressionable. Yeah, all right.
Looks like the Swedish experience has come a bit early.
Sweden down under.
So, can I continue? Can I continue?
go on with
Or
your-
more
you're ready.
tangents?
Go on with your.
We want
you're
more
ready.
tangents?
Yeah, go on with your.
Or can I
theoretical-
try to bring some substance?
But also, should Genghis Khan be cancelled?
Yeah, have we got the poll up, Pete?
You!
Fuck yeah. Pete, best poll of all time.
Pete's poll is keen.
65%.
Done?
No, all right, well, we'll give it some more
I'll
time.
try to
Oh, is
get it.
done? The
I'll
poll's done?
try to get it 80%.
All right, that's it. Should Pete be cancelled?
Is Pete problematic?
Is Pete problematic?
That camera's pretty big, Pete. It's very phallic.
No, okay, because you all know who Gus is. Is Goose problematic?
Wait, what do you mean? You just
Is he problematic?
you're just throwing Gus under the
Yeah, of course I'm throwing him under
Dude,
the bus.
his last debut.
That's what he gets for eating chili and not being phased by it.
Dude, his last debut on TV was him just rolling out of basically like a Mongolian death camp, being like, "Oh, where am I? Chile, okay." And now you're throwing him even more further under the bloody.
It's so true. Yeah, forget Kim Jong-il. Genghis Khan's life is just a rip-off of Gus's life. I swear that's how it started off, just in Mongolia in lower nobility.
Yeah, except the same like the same.
Guys, I don't know what to do now. I can't bring it back. I
You
think
bring
we're
it
going to
back.
go
Just
over.
let me say the same.
Does Goose deserve to be canceled?
No, we're bringing it back. It's just
Oh, is he problematic?
no. We're,
But we know he's problematic.
Leave him alone.
Okay, all right,
Look, we're
all right.
bringing it back. It's
right,
just. I just think this is a good appropriation. You got to admit this is funny. If like
What?
an appropriation of like Genghis Khan's life to Goose's, except Goose's is, oh that restaurant on Lygon Street closed. Oh well, I guess there's other good ones. Come on, you like
The eternal struggle.
We're not cancelling anyone. We're just asking about Genghis Khan.
No, I might cancel Ali, but
I think I want to be canceled
I love
now.
how it's just a threat.
I'm reds of canceling.
Triggered. Excuse
Randomly
me.
threatening, cancelling people that exclusively
You know what, like-
help us through our lives and have done
I know.
no bad.
I know, just like nice people.
Nice,
That's what we've
helpful-
gone to. But like that's the level we're at.
That's how bad we are. Actively cancelling really lovely, helpful people. That's fucked. As woke.
And also, has cancelling ever successfully occurred?
No, it's a joke.
Yeah, it never happened.
Well, I think Alex Jones kind
Maybe, okay, Genghis Khan did cancel a lot of cities in Turkmenistan.
Right.
But he
Alex
didn't.
Jones, no, he's
he,
right.
He
Alex-
didn't. This
Alex-
is all propaganda that you've been drilled into your guys' head. But anyways, yeah. He did burn, I guess he burned down cities.
Fuck, what is the difference between Ali and Alex Jones at this point? Everything you think you know is a lie.
I know.
It's because you know it from one perspective that was against that perspective. It's like reading your entire storybook from like Hitler's perspective and thinking, oh, the Allies were really bad.
Which is what Ali has done.
Which is what...
and thinks. And
He
thinks.
has read my Kampf.
Have you read My Kampf?
yeah, it has.
Whoa, was it boring?
I don't think it was boring by any means.
It wasn't boring. Well, I'm learning something new every day. I'm
He was
always
a
learning.
he was a decent writer, not the best writer, but he was good.
Good artist too. Ooh, there's a bit of a.
Apparently not that good.
Oh.
He can't get rejected from architecture school, which was in his book, and he was like, he's very much like Jordan. He's very pissy about that. All right, we're out of time.
Are we out of time? Oh, sorry, keep going.
Surely not out of time.
No, go on with you,
We've
Genghis
got,
Khan.
look, I don't think there is a time, but okay.
There's
So
story.
when he's 16 years old, he's sleeping at night, and they hear horses coming towards them, and his mom is still the leader of the family. So what she does is she instructs her boys and her daughter to get on the horseback and escape, and she leaves Genghis Khan's daughter behind because she's like, if there's no woman over here, then they're gonna want to chase them. They're probably here to kidnap the girls. So she forces Genghis to leave with his brothers and the daughter on the horseback and go away. And this was the last decision that anyone ever made for Genghis because he hated that decision. He didn't agree with it. He loved his wife too much to leave her behind. So he goes
romantic.
He goes
Oh.
and he goes into like some other part of Mongolia to just like I guess chill, but he says this life is not worth it. I want my wife back. So the way he decides to get his wife back is by forming alliances with all of these different... so they later on find out that his wife has been kidnapped by the Tartars. And she was kidnapped by them because they wanted to take revenge for his dad kidnapping his mom. So there was like this feud, which is why he was kicked out from the tribe in the first place.
I'm going to have to affirm with myself here. I'm sure this is just home and away.
Yeah.
This sounds like propaganda to me.
Yeah.
The reason he started an empire is over love.
Yeah, it sounds like. Are you sure?
I think it was like this is all coming from like the secret Mongolian history, which was like
dude, this is Toadie's story. He had a wife. She drove off a cliff. She came back 10 years later, so she didn't die. It's just the same thing.
Anyway, so he goes back and he manages to build an army, this like 16-year-old kid, and he goes back and he frees his wife. But now the problem is that's what he wanted, but the problem is now he has like so many allegiances and he's got to pay dues because he's taken help of these local khans. So he's now basically at the helm of like, now he needs to constantly wage war. But here's the thing. His wife comes back pregnant. And says...
Pirates of the Caribbean. Sorry, my mistake.
And he says that this is my child. No one believes him. And this becomes an issue much later during the succession disputes. He says that this is my child. And no one can go against him on it. Anyway, so then he has to like expand this empire because he has taken too many favors from people that want that to happen. And that was the beginning of Genghis' like start of the empire.
I did not expect that. I thought it was just going to be like, pirates come in, pirates destroy town, he becomes a pirate, yada, 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 hedge on spikes. That's actually mad.
He builds his like empire on a few very strong things that he has learned. So unlike, because he's not an aristocrat, he was like some povkan. He doesn't know how administration works. And so he tries to like figure it out in a completely different way, which ends up becoming his success. So one of the examples was, so he ends up going to one of these, I think it was modern day Beijing, and he's trying to like capture this area, and there's a fortress over there. He has never seen a building in his life. And he doesn't know how to like get into this building. So what he does know is that my bows and arrows won't work. So he's like, how do I do it? He doesn't have an Aristotle that can tell him how to like fucking break through fortresses. So he comes up with initially stupid ideas. So he's like, okay, how about we try to divert the river onto this fort and maybe that'll break it. He tries to do it. He doesn't break the fort, but he kills all of his people. His entire camp gets flooded. So he's trying to figure out how to combat and capture things. But he doesn't have the conventional wisdom for it, so he does stupid things. But he learns new things that no one had. One of the things that so his empire was built on a few ideas. One of the crucial ideas was loyalty. He believed loyalty to be extremely strong. And one of the things that he realized was that trying to form loyalties with aristocrats is useless. They almost always go against you. So what he would do is he would, in many cases, kill all of the aristocrats and get people that were like POV people to come and put in those places because he thought that those people would be more loyal to him. He did that with his own generals as well. All of his generals, none of them were aristocrats. They were all really poor people that had sided with him at the beginning of his empire, and he knew that they will always be loyal to them. Sometimes opponent generals or like opponent kings, military foot soldiers would bring their king and say, here, before you attack us, take a hold of this guy. Genghis would kill all of those army men, saying that if you can't be loyal to your own guy, how the hell can I expect you to be loyal with me? So for him, loyalty was huge.
Boss.
And it was very, very insane. So you know how they say they pillage? So you know how they say he used to burn down entire cities? the way because his fucking method of like diverting the river and breaking down the fort was so unsuccessful that he came up with this new idea that if he goes into like a place and they refuse to surrender to him, he will cut down massive trees, put them on fire, and throw them with slingshots. And that would burn the entire place, but it would also pave way for him to go in and actually capture the fort.
It's kind of like Macbeth. You know how they're like, the woods will come in. You'll die when the woods move to you, and they just chop down the trees and use the woods as covers.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that is right.
It's kind of similar.
He also had this whole he communicated with his army men in a very different way. So he first had to like come up with a language. Mongols didn't have a language, so they borrowed the Uyghur letter, which is like
Chenk Uyghur.
Chenk Uyghur.
God.
So they borrowed that letter, and he made like a law out of those letters. But he didn't want his military to be communicated with that through those letters and that language, because he thought that letters are not loyal to anyone. Anyone can read them. So if someone gets captured, what's the point? So apparently his entire massive army was communicating with each other through poetry.
Wow. That's incredible.
Seems ridiculous.
That's amazing.
But like the way I think about it is like, it makes sense to me if I say to you, Miss Love, like I'm soaked in the blood of lamb. What does that mean to you?
That motherfucker just killed a lamb.
But if I tell that to a practicing Christian that knows his text well, he knows exactly what I mean.
It means like maybe like you've sacrificed an innocent one or something, right?
You've sacrificed yourself.
Yourself.
But then the words for it. So
but that's amazing, because then that's like essentially jargon to anyone else.
Yeah, to jargon to anyone else.
Secret language.
But it's a secret language. That's how he apparently managed to do it.
Dictionary.
He invented Urban Dictionary.
The other thing that he learned, and the legend has it from some old lady. So there's another story of like, so what he learned was that, okay, so this is why apparently Americans also lost in Iraq, which is that the most common way of like capturing a place is that you attack the city center, you attack the capital. Once you've got the capital, you've got the entire place. Genghis didn't agree with that, and apparently he learned it from some old lady. The legend goes that he was running away from some enemies, and he was really hungry, and some old lady, not knowing he was Genghis, offered refuge to him, and she served him a big platter of hot rice. And Genghis, he was really hungry, and he went straight for the middle, and his hand burned, and he was like, ah! The old lady said, not knowing who he is, saying, "You're just like Genghis, you're a dumb fuck." And he was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Why do you always attack the center? That's the hot. Start with the edges, because that's the cold bit, and you'll eventually get there." And that's where apparently, this is probably a false story, but this is how he came up with the idea of like, he always attacked the fringes.
Yeah.
He was always like, get the weak link first, get the weak link first. Eventually, you'll surround the entire capital, and they'll have no other way to resist you. And so that was one of the crucial ways that he captured so many places.
What were his accomplishments in terms of his empire, and where did he capture? What were his exact?
His like geographic.
Like what
empire?
were his achievements?
So the entire China, Russia, Central Asia, Iran, Afghanistan, all the way down to Turkey. So probably the largest land mass to have ever been under one administration.
And how
was
long
by
did he
him.
hold it for? His empire?
Close to 100 years.
His kids as well, right?
His kids as well.
Dude, that's pretty incredible. That's Russia and China are the ones where I'm like, whoa, how did he? I mean, I know it's obviously a long time ago, but like they are. I would assume Russia are like quite a warlike people.
They are, but and the
They
only
are.
these guys were just insane. Well, but the one or the other ways that they were able to. So this is the other thing. People just say that, oh, he was some brutal guy that killed everyone, so obviously people were afraid of him. That's not how you maintain empires for 100 years.
So you think he was?
I don't think we know.
So were they like the Roman Empire? They were sort of just like you can become an emancipated slave. You can get your freedom. Or was that?
Yeah. So every time he went somewhere, so let's say when he attacked the fringes, he always gave the option of surrender to the law, or we will kill each and every one of you. And he did. He would do it. He would kill people that wouldn't surrender. In fact, he didn't even have to. The legend of him killing spread like wildfire, that people would surrender even before the army had ever come, because they knew what could happen, even if it didn't happen as much as people would. And that's where all of our information comes from. So all of our information comes from these people that were like petrified, and we're hearing these stories of people being burnt down. The burning down was the trees. That was their strategy of getting people to come out of their forts.
Man, look.
Mongols know what's up.
But hey,
That's much more interesting than I thought. I still really don't like the Mongolians for some reason, and wish you could send back a few B-52 bombers to just carpet bomb their army.
What?
well, they don't have an army anymore.
No, but I'm just saying that Genghis Khan one. It would just be really satisfying going back in time when there was only horses and being like,
Christ. Just Nixon be like, oh, do they disturb you? I don't like the
Yeah, Henry Kissinger, I think it would be wise to go back in time and change history.
I, for one, completely...
He came up with blitz
what-
warfare, which is credited to the Nazis from Second World War.
Blitzkrieg.
He came up. They used
what
to
was
call
that?
it Thunder,
And what was it?
which was that you never know when he's going to attack. He's going to come from places. So one of the things that
blitzkrieg
he would
mean?
do is, just like
And
rapid
fast and
warfare,
relentless.
fast, go for the kill. Because one of the things that he would do was, which is why his attacks were so surprising, was that he wouldn't follow the Silk Road. He wouldn't follow the normal path to come anywhere. He would come through deserts that no one ever thought were ever penetrable, or he would come through mountains that no one thought were ever
how did he die?
penetrable. Old age. He was very old. He was old, man.
Do you think he was like...
Apparently,
Do you think he was like happy
40.
or sad? Do you think he was one of those things where people were like, Genghis, you look at this far and wide lands that you rule. Do you think he was like, yes, but I'd give it all up to see my wife?
he was sad about his children.
Yeah, but
Because
yeah.
he grew up in like extreme harsh environments, and he had a tough life, and so he learned all of these lessons. His children initially were in poverty, but like eventually they were like the owners of the biggest empire the world had ever seen, and their father was supposed to be God. So even though like Genghis, like he himself believed in loyalty and not a kinship, he kind of fucked up with his own children.
Yeah.
His children were just like drinking and shit, and they were having fun, and they didn't have to like feed off of this yak milk they were having rice wine from China. They had all of the luxuries, and so he was sad about the fact that he liked his first son the most. The first son he thought was probably the candidate that will take over the empire, but this is the first son that was considered to be a rape child and not his actual son, because he was the one, when he rescued his wife from the Tartars, he was already pregnant.
Right.
So as soon as he wanted to make his first son the king or the leader of the tribe, his second son got up and said, "Why are you making a bastard our king?" And he was always saying, you don't know that time, I know. And if I say he's my son, then he's my son.
Dude, I'm surprised they haven't made some like bombastic, blown out Hollywood movie.
They did, which was commissioned by, I think by Kazakhstan, called Mongolia. But it only
The Rock,
captures
Genghis
the...
Khan.
I think it only captures the bit where he rescues his wife and not the empire after, if I'm not wrong. I haven't seen the movie, but they did make
No,
one.
how much? Come on. Okay, Rock is a good candidate, but who else could we think? It's Steve Aoki.
Who's
No.
that?
You know that like DJ that I think he spends his entire time hanging out with Dan Bilzerian in Vegas, just being like, "I'll show you beach for church." That guy. Who else we got? Joe Rogan.
I'm gonna say unequivocally yes. I don't know.
Dude, you know, it'd be amazing. Come on, Andy Lee as Genghis Khan.
Who's that?
From
Andy
Hamish and
Lee?
Andy, just that
He
guy.
he could pull it off.
Can you imagine that?
He looks semi-aged.
Dude. Okay. Well, okay. I'm.
All right, who's guys? Just before we go, I just really want to know. Just give me the links of the Twitch. Who is the worst person to cast as Genghis Khan?
I think Andy Lee's the worst. Are you gonna,
Does it get lower?
like? Are you?
No,
Gonna,
I think Hamish is the worst. Let's be real.
dude, can you imagine just like we're gonna rape and pillage. Are you gonna do it? I don't know. Are you gonna do it? I don't think so. We have to do it. No, I don't know. If we don't rape and pillage them, we're all gonna look. We're not gonna have enough yaks to survive. Okay.
The trademark gag. Look, if you don't know what he's referencing there, you are not deep enough in this podcast's lore. Make sure that you subscribe so you become
we're
more.
getting some really good suggestions.
Okay, give us. Yep.
Okay.
I'm ready for
Arnie,
this.
fuck, so many. Okay.
Yeah.
Chris Lilly, Shapiro, Michael
And Shapiro.
Cera, Scarlett Johansson, Kanye, Jackie O, Rove, Steve Buscemi, Danny DeVito,
Rove is pretty good.
Peter Dutton,
Rove. What?
Peter Dutton, Waleed Ali,
Uh-huh.
Ali, you, Steve Buscemi again, Christopher Walken, Kevin James, Woody Allen. I just don't want to kill him. My wrist hurts. My wrist hurts.
I'm on board with the 4 wives, but the rest of the stuff, is it really necessary?
Stevie Wonder. Keanu Reeves would be pretty cool. Dodge.
Keanu Reeves could actually be a good...
I love Keanu.
Yeah, that's actually a sensible suggestion.
Yeah.
That's a terrible.
And hence, you're banned. Can we ban this?
Yeah, Cyborg Senshi. You banned.
What about this?
Ricky Martin. All right, Rove or Ricky Martin at the top right now. Lars Ulrich.
What about this? Miss loves ass. Just like draw some little eyes on it. Put it on the side.
Damn, that would be, dude, I kind of like Lars Ulrich. Just like
Yeah, Lars is a great
kill you
choice.
with rock. Ping, ping, ping. I don't know if we're gonna. Oh, Jimmy.
Do you want to?
Tom Cruise. I think Tom Cruise would actually be good. So your band as well.
And you know what else?
as
No,
you.
I think Tom Cruise. Well, yeah, okay. Actually, Tom Cruise, I guess, Last Samurai, that was Asian enough.
That
I
was
suppose.
basically that.
That was that. He did it.
That was the last
Yeah,
Samurai.
Don't waste our time.
What about Matt Damon?
Fuck. Now I had a good one. Now I can't think of it. Oh well.
John
Let's think of
Wayne
that.
did play Genghis
Dude,
Khan.
what about this? Brian Cranston playing Genghis Khan.
or better, that footy player who hosts a millionaire show.
Oh, Eddie Maguire.
Yeah, him. I think he could be good.
Eddie Maguire would be.
Are you
pretty
sure,
good.
Well, he
mate?
basically is the Genghis Khan of Australia.
Look, I don't think we're going to top those.
Yeah. All right. Well,
So is it going to be
No, holy shit. Okay, Rove is good, but also, man, Jimmy Barnes' son that hosts Channel 9's Today Show.
We're going to kill him with what? Slow zoom in. The only way I know how. Whew. With jazz. That guy.
I performed in Star City, you know.
I feel, like I know that we're like, it's like Osher, Andrew G is like low hanging fruit. But it's like, dude, I would never pay that man out because you just know he goes home and cries in his pillow, don't you?
Who?
Jimmy Barnes' son.
Jimmy Barnes is the musician,
I think
right?
he
Just to
likes
be-
his life a lot, man.
Does he?
I think Jimmy Barnes just bought him a pimp apartment. He was like, but I'm a millionaire myself, Dad. And he's just like, I just love you that much, son.
That wasn't a good Jimmy Barnes.
Really...
That wasn't a good Jimmy Barnes. They need to chuck in a bit more Scottish. I just love you that much, son. Some fucked up mash of Australian and Scottish. Yeah, the two prettiest accent on earth. Why don't we smash them
This just
together?
adds more to my theory. I just need to ask this. Jimmy Barnes, were you in AC/DC or not?
I have
Still don't know.
I have
wasn't.
another theory about Jimmy Barnes that someone told me, and I need to confirm.
So egregious. Like,
Come on,
a
just
lot
another
of,
Scottish gruff cunt
Yeah,
who
I know.
just sings like all those songs and just be like, yeah,
I know, but
singing in a
Mr.
raspy
is-
voice is good, bro.
I know, but all I'm saying is there is a lot of contingency of human beings in pubs in Balmain that if they heard that would just be like, it's such a ridiculous thing to say.
Yeah, who's
Oh
blasphemous.
no.
But someone told me that like,
Cancelled.
30% of people from our generation were conceived to Jimmy Barnes in Australia.
Yeah, he is.
And he's like,
is.
and he was willing to argue the numbers with me. I was
Okay,
like, I don't
the
know.
official Genghis Khan of Australia, Jimmy Barnes.
Dude, Jimmy Barnes' Genghis would be
Be
actually
so-
great.
yeah.
Genghis, oh, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how he figured out how to get in that fortress with
Yeah. His vocal cords just like,
crumble the walls. It's like Jericho.
last train out of Mongolia's almost gone. Yeah.
And by train I mean camel convoy.
Last camel out of Mongolia. girl's almost gone. We're going to appropriate that shit easily. They took my wife and kids. I just want to rock out and kick skids. The last camel out of Mongolia's almost gone.
We're actually out of time now, so
she's a concubine. All right, let's get out of here.
We have fun. We have fun.
Yeah. You want to do like a closing song for us? Do you want to?
Oh, no, but I do want to say this. Make sure that you subscribe to our Patreon for more juicy content.
You know, you want to
Supply.
get the numbers up there. We need to crack that shit just like Forest Hall will maybe crack 1,000.
We think it will. Can you
I
subscribe
think we're
to
gonna
Forest
have more
Hall on
patrons
YouTube?
than Forest Hall has subscribers.
Actually, yeah.
And let's keep it that way.
No. It's so hard for a band though. It's just like, no, it's a great model. You put out a video once every 4 months if you're lucky. Yep. It takes ages to make them. And
No one cares.
Stagnant channel.
Yeah.
So listen, like and subscribe.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys.
Bye.